You told yourself this time will be different person, fresh start, maybe this one will finally make you feel love. But somehow you ended up in the same pain, different person, same heartbreak. Stay with me, because I want to tell you exactly why that happens and what changes it. Hello beautiful soul, welcome to the Doorway Healing. This is the place where we take painful love and turn it into self-love, understanding and real inner peace. And if this is your first time here, I want you to know something. You probably found this video because something in you is asking a question you cannot quite put it into words. I believe this message came to you at exactly the right time. You did not land here by accident. You are exactly where you need to be. After my painful marriage, I never expect myself to fall in love again. And when he left, I cried a lot. I kept asking myself, what happened to me? Why does this keep happening? I want to be honest with you today. The love is still there, but one thing has changed. Even though I still have those feelings, I will never abandon myself the same way I did before. Because I realized something. In the past, when I love someone, I put them above everything, above my own needs, above my own health, and above my own peace. And slowly, I forgot that I mattered too. I think many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Today, I want to share 3 things with you. First, why so many of us fall for the wrong person again after heartbreak. Second, what is really happening inside us when we do, and why it is not our fault. Third, what actually changes when we choose to heal first. Because when you heal, you do not just attract differently, you choose differently. So let us begin. After a painful heartbreak, what do most people do? They do not take time to heal. They jump into another relationship. They think maybe this new person will make me happy. Maybe this time I will finally feel love. And it makes sense. When we are in pain, we want the pain to stop. When we feel empty, we look for someone to fill the emptiness. When we are lonely, we reach for connection. That is human. That is not weakness. But here is what nobody tells you. When we are not healed, we are not looking for real love. We are looking for someone to take away the pain. And when we enter a relationship from that place, we often end up choosing the same kind of person again. Not because we are not good enough, not because we are not smart enough, but because our wounds are still doing the choosing. I used to think that if I could not stop thinking about someone, if the feeling was so strong it hurt, it must mean they were the right person. Now I understand something different. Sometimes what feels the most intense is not love. Sometimes it is our wound looking for healing. When we have not healed yet, we may ignore what is right in front of us. We may fall in love too fast. We may put the other person on a pedestal. We may become too attached too quickly because we are afraid to lose them. And sometimes when we love from fear instead of peace, the other person can feel the pressure and they pull away. Then we are left asking, what did I do wrong? And we blame ourselves. But the real question is, what part of me was still choosing from a place that has not healed? You are not broken. You are not unlovable. You are someone who needed love and went looking for it before you found it inside yourself. And that is something we can change. And if any of that is landing for you right now, if you can see yourself in this, I want you to do one small thing. Drop a comment below and write, I'm not choosing from emptiness anymore. I'm coming back to myself first. Just those words, because saying it is the beginning of choosing it. Have you ever had a feeling, a quiet voice inside that something was not right, okay, but you ignore it because you wanted the relationship to work, because you were afraid of being alone, because you told yourself, maybe I'm overreacting. I've done that too. When we have places inside us that have not healed, those places make decisions for us. They make us accept less than we deserve. They make us stay too long. They make us afraid to be alone. And sometimes we do not stay because someone is the right person. We stay because we are afraid of being alone. And I want to say this gently. Being alone for a season is far healthier than being with someone who slowly takes away your peace. We also confuse things. We confuse attention with love. We confuse intensity with real connection. We confuse someone needing us with someone truly loving us. And sometimes we believe if I love them enough, they will eventually change. If I'm patient enough, kind enough, understanding enough, they will become the person I know they could be. But here is something I had to learn the hard way. No amount of love from you can heal someone who does not want to heal themselves. You cannot love someone into becoming what you need. That is not love failing. That is love being given to the wrong place. And the places inside us that have not healed. They are drawn to what feels familiar, even when familiar is painful. That's why you can meet someone and something inside you says, this feels like home. But sometimes that feeling of home is just your old pain, recognizing itself. It is not your fault, but it is something you can heal. And I want to say one more thing here. Love is not something you should have to earn by sacrificing yourself, by shrinking yourself, by becoming less, so someone else feels more. Real love does not ask you to lose yourself to keep it. I want to be honest with you. After I walked away from my painful marriage, I cried a lot. And then I found myself falling again. And when he left, I cried again. I kept asking what is happening to me. But this time, something was different. This time, instead of chasing, instead of ignoring what I was feeling inside, instead of putting myself last, I chose differently. Yes, the feelings are still there. I will not pretend otherwise, but I have learned that I can love someone and still choose what is healthy for me. I can meet someone and still refuse to abandon myself. Healing is not about becoming someone who never gets hurt. It is not about becoming cold or close. Healing is about understanding your own patterns, asking yourself, why do I keep choosing this kind of person? Why do I ignore what I feel inside? Why do I give so much of myself away? And I noticed something as I begin to heal. Something that surprised me. The type of person that I used to be drawn to no longer drew me in the same way. It was not because people around me changed. It was because I changed. When you heal, you begin to see clearly. You see who is truly loving you. You see who is only giving you attention. You see who respects you. You see who is just touching the places inside you that still needs to heal. And most importantly, you begin to see yourself. You stop choosing from loneliness. You stop choosing from fear. You stop choosing from emptiness. You start choosing from self-love, peace, and self-respect. And I want to say something about self-love, because I used to think it meant feeling confident all the time or being happy every day. It does not. Self-love means choosing what is healthy for yourself. Even on the days you do not feel confident, even on the day the feelings are still there, even on the day you miss them. The longest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. If you keep abandoning yourself to keep someone else happy, eventually you will forget who you really are. And you deserve to know who you are. So, before you give your heart to someone else again, come back to yourself first. Spend time with yourself. Ask the questions that are hard to sit with. Look at the places inside you that are still waiting to be loved properly. Because the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for every relationship you will ever have. When you love yourself, you stop settling for less. When you respect yourself, you create space for someone who is truly right for you. When you trust yourself, you stop ignoring that quiet voice inside. The goal is not to find someone to complete you. The goal is to become whole on your own, so that the next relationship you choose comes from love, not loneliness, from peace, not fear, from choosing, not needing. So let us bring this together. First, jumping into another relationship before you heal does not take the pain away. It carries it into something new. What feels the most intense is not always love. Sometimes it is your wound looking for healing. The most important thing after heartbreak is not to find someone new. It is to find yourself first. Second, when you have places inside you that have not yet healed, those places make choices for you. They make you stay out of fear of being alone. They make you believe your love can change someone who does not want to change. And no amount of love from you can heal someone who does not want to heal themselves. This is not your fault, but it is something you can heal. Third, healing changes what you see and what you choose. The type of person you used to be drawn to will begin to change. Not because they change, but because you did. Self-love is not feeling confident every day. It is choosing what is healthy for yourself, even on the hard days. You stop choosing from emptiness. Third, healing changes what you see and what you choose. The type of person you used to be drawn to will begin to change, not because they change, but because you did. Self-love is not feeling confident every day. It is choosing what is healthy for yourself. Even on the hard day, you stop choosing from emptiness. You start choosing from peace. And if this video is speaking to your heart, if you can feel something shifting as you listened, I would love for you to subscribe to the Doorway Healing. This is a community for women who are choosing themselves, women who are done repeating the same pain, women who are learning, maybe for the first time, that they matter. You belong here. And before you go, I have a free guide called the Doorway Guide, 7 gentle steps to stop waiting in pain and come back to yourself. The link is below in the description. It is free and it's gentle. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it today and leave a comment. I would love to know where you are in your healing right now. Subscribe so you do not miss out what is coming next. There is so much more we are going to go through together. I will see you in the next one. I'll see you there, beautiful soul. And remember, the love may still be there, but so are you. And this time, you are not leaving yourself behind. Take care of your heart. I mean that.